Let us take Solara in and soak in its glorious beauty.
The Rails are going to give access to every team to take fights that they deemed that they needed. These are the 12 lots and numerous cameras, and every player's eye just looking forward to their next target here on Solara. The flight paths dividing the map in even Stevens half right above Aquarium and all the way towards the hub is what we end up seeing. And the fight at Delta Isle seems to be another one that's going to break out, and that's where RRQ went down, and seems like RRQ are going to drop there, but they have a split. It seems like they're going a little further from Delta Isle, reaching all the way close to Windmill, and they might actually break the backs of another team who have their champion rush condition. KD God right in front of Duds, and Duds was done a great deal in the previous game. Damage done. KD God has Wolverine right behind him. Runs up and KD goes down. This is trouble for Team Apex Gaming. Wolverine activates the chrono, but for how long? Nothing works out, and he's also taken down. Team Apex Gaming, they have an opportunity to close here, win for South Asia, but RRQ, just like they ruined for their brothers as well as the other Southeast Asian teams, they're continuing that run.
Yeah, RRQ had a very slow start to this day. They had like 3 bad games back to back, but then they deny all the Champion Rush teams their victory, and now they're doing surprisingly well. RRQ have climbed up to 74, so they might just even activate the Champion Rush condition in this game. But Straw Hats, they continue to tumble downwards, barely getting anything done in this game at all, eliminated at 0 points. So they will have to wait a lot more if they want to have their crack at the championship. But for now, Aurora Gaming, these guys have picked up a bunch of eliminations already. They've picked up 4, they got the squad wipe, and they're on their way. Still a little around 24 points away from the Champion Rush condition.
Worried here still for Team Apex Gaming. Sahil Jat is the last one standing. He's nowhere close to the Windmill.
Oh no,
Vending
they got
machine,
the
and there it is. The hit list activated. He thought hopefully that they would run away and he'll get an access to the vending machine. He doesn't even have coins right as now, trying to take a quick boost, and Falcons are here. That might be the distraction that he needs. He can take this advantage. Falcons, they had their own clash. They also need to activate the champion condition, but the vehicle gets destroyed. Sahil Jat, he gets peppered. He thought Keroro will be the distraction that he needs out of this game, but Team Apex Gaming, with their champion rush condition, will not be able to make it through here on Solara. And the South Asian belief that there could be the trophy for them is now lost, and all they can hope is the other teams can deny Bigatron as well as RRQ out of this game.
Yeah, RRQ has been the bane of most of the Champion Rush team's existence. Last game, they eliminated both AG Global and Bigatron. This time, they eliminate Apex Gaming, and now they get another hit list. Oh, at least it's on Falcons. It's not one of the other Champion Rush condition teams, but you know that RRQ is going to go aggressive. AG Global also continuing to do what they do best, just eliminating every single person that they come across. Keep in mind that last time Revenant X Park versus AG Global was a massive contest in Aquarium. So this time AG Global went for a 3-1 split drop. 3 of them went towards Aquarium. 1 of them actually went towards another part of the map, I think close to TV Tower. So that's why they had a split drop. And once again, in Eco Drain, a place where none of these teams like to go, they're having this fight again. Kunal gets peppered between the 2 players, gets sandwiched in the most unappetizing way. And Arsh also meets the same fate. AG Global don't lose a single 1v1 duel.
SATL continuing. While they did lose out a player here, doesn't matter. They're on the other end on Titan Esports Club's problems are increasing as Prince trying to get confirmation. Bunny is well on that same trail. Aurora also tried to get in the mix, and Zuez instantly gets shut down. A little bit of a kerfuffle that none of these players thought they were getting in the mix of multiple teams. However, it's good for SATL as they are getting closer to the champion rush condition, but still the same wavering cloud above them. That might drizzle very soon if AG Global or Bigatron by Vitality end up getting a Booyah in this game. So trying to deny them should be on the cards. But Bigatron by Vitality, they've tried to play safe and sound. We just saw AG Global from Eco Drain. They're not trying to run away. They're trying to hold the position. So far, those 2 teams are trying to play on survival.
Yeah, Bigatron playing for survival is not something I ever expected to say. I thought that even with the Champion Rush condition active, they will at least continue fighting any team that comes close to them. And right now, Falcons are pushing the envelope. Limit X7 gets over his own limits, but gets quickly humbled by C-Bank. Pina has that angle. He's trying to shoot down Deeks, but he doesn't realize that Koja has already closed in the distance. Now he finally does. Shield gun from Koja does deal a little bit of damage, but Peanut, hopping between blue walls, finally has to face Deeks as he charges into his face. Seepeng gets the knock onto Kororo, but they're struggling a little with Peanut. They finally put him down. They finally put him out of his misery, and this could be the Falcons' undoing. Bigetron haven't faced a single loss yet, but this needs to keep up. They need to keep playing just like this if they want to have a crack at the championship.
Same intention for AG Global. They've been able to fend themselves from Aquarium to Eco Drain, and it still seems like they are keeping the 3-1 split. And Barros completely in the other direction, trying to retrace his footsteps to their drop spot at Aquarium and spots RRQ Kazu, the ones who have been dismantling teams with champion rush condition. Bigetron by Vitality have another challenge right in front of them. Hot shot. The powerhouse from South Asia from the initial games that we witnessed. Yes, right now they've been a tad bit slowed down. Unfortunate for Hot Shots. However, somebody who's picked up pace is Demon's Pride. And Demon's Pride, because they don't have a lot to lose, they're going all out. Even in the last game, they ended up in the top 2. That tells us of how brilliant these teams play when they don't have pressure. However, the top teams still keep crumbling. Bigetron by Vitality. The Falcon Hunters, can they hunt them? They did take 2 players down. Now Racha very close up. Koja trying to use the launcher, do the damage, but it's not working for the time being. But then the Diggs rush comes through. The dash, however, doesn't work. Racha still will be able to confirm before going down to his knees. Limit X7 barely almost letting Koja be alive. He'll patch himself up, get closer, loot immediately, but Limit X7 will have no access to this elimination anymore.
Yeah, but Limit X7 doesn't need to worry about anything else. They need to be worried about Keroro more, because Keroro is guarding the vending machine. Up until now, Bigetron by Vitality thought that this vending machine in Funfair was still available to them. It was clear just literally 10 seconds ago. But as soon as Bigetron lost one player, Falcons realized that they're going to be going for the vending machine again. So Keroro comes in and captures it. Koja desperately using both the throwable grenades and the launcher grenades to clear out this vending machine, hoping to race over there. But Keroro with the Trogon puts him down. And that leaves Seebank all alone. Luckily, it's just the second circle, so he can tank a little bit of the damage and go to another vending machine. He's got 1700 coins, 100 more, and he should be able to revive his entire team with the super revive.
Seebank did not think this would happen, but it has unfolded for the time being. Bigetron by Vitality do not want to have another fate where they end up losing their teammates. Thankfully, and the direction that he's treading outside the zone, especially it still being the early circles, not much to be worried about. Will get an opportunity to revive the squad, but RRQ Kazu, they have 7 eliminations. A chase coming in from Titan Esports Club. They're the ones right now sitting at the bottom of the overall standings. However, teams are now getting closer. The difference when we initially saw when we were game number 3, teams were still from 30 points to all the way 60 points, but now teams have closed the gap.
Yeah.
Everybody almost needs around 30-35 points to get to champion rush condition. However, by this game, we should have seen at least 6 teams activate champion rush condition, which has not happened. That tells us the level of the competition that we are seeing here in FFMAI 2026 summer.
Yeah, it's much higher. Normally by game number 6, you have 5 or 6 teams. This is game number 7 with only 3 teams active. But with Seoul 3 points away, Falcons 10 points away, Aurora and RRQ both just 12 points away from the champion rush condition. If this game doesn't end now, then AG Global and Bigetron will both have troubles in the next game onwards, because then we'll have like 6 teams active. And AG Global once again facing problems. Barros taken down. Limit X7 just doesn't seem to back off of them. And this time RRQ are the ones who are hunting AG Global yet again. So there's 2 big fights happening. It's Bigetron versus Falcons, as well as RRQ versus AG Global. Both of these fights can determine what's going to happen to the tournament. Oh, never mind.
They determined that they want the launch pad. They will quickly run away from here. Did not have the numbers and they don't want to give an opportunity. In the meantime, it seems like Revenant X Spark, they end up finding an opening. Titan Esports Club, they decide to rush in, but Mahal was ready. He puts the player to a knock and then Blade goes down. Trouble here for Titan Esports Club. Rahat trying to play around the chrono, but not for long, as Rans with the M590 will put the players down. Nejad in between the mix of RRQ, and Rans did not spot him. I think Dix will finally, and that is an end for Titan Esports Club. Just thought there could be an opportunity for them to rake up points here, but they make the mistake of trailing behind the Slayers of FFMAI 2026 summer. They're not allowing anybody to get closer towards the champion rush condition, not even allowing the champion rush condition activated teams to win so far.
Yeah, he's been a menace, bro. He's been an absolute menace. Let's see if he can activate his own champion rush condition and then be an even bigger menace. But for now, RRQ are just on a hunting spree. They are speed running towards the champion rush condition. They had a terrible start. They barely had 50 points like 2 games ago, and now they're at 82. Just 8 more and they will be through. Let's see where they go next, because the zip rail provides them easy access towards the circle, no gatekeeping possible. So RQ have a much clearer way into the circle, and their game plan also looks to be more long-term than that of AG Global, who, by the way, might just end up locking horns against Revenant X-Pac over here. These guys have always faced each other, man. They've had drop clashes in Aquarium. They just fought in Eco Drain a couple of moments ago, and now back again. It's time for round 3 of AG Global versus Revenant X-Pac.
Revenant X-Pac, they need points, whereas AG Global have all the points. Revenant X-Pac, if they're able to work on this fight, we know their aggression, but in the Grand Finals, it seems like the pressure coming in from the other teams, they're feeling the heat about it and they're unable to convert. Vincent, he has the opportunity. He's the one on the outer extremity. He should have an angle. He should find the opening, and there it goes. It comes in from actually Son. Cypher on the other end instantly puts him down on the exchange. AG Global will be able to recover him, but Nameless also being knocked now. AG Global in trouble, but RRQ Kazu is also in the mix, and Revenant X-Pac, just when they think they have things in the control, Arsh gets taken down, and Revenant X-Pac are now getting whiplashed by RRQ Kazu's outlash of eliminations, and they are looking unstoppable. Now that they've converted against Revenant X-Pac, they're moving, they know there's another squad, and right at their edge, Cypher doesn't want to allow that happen. Last time when they did back out from this direction, it was AG Global losing their opportunity of getting themselves crowned as champions, and this time they don't want that situation. But right at the edge of the pipe, RRQ Kazu, they want to make a drop, but they know AG Global, they are on the disadvantage. If they decide to climb up, RRQ Kazu have the advantage, but Abhay, he decides to try to jump in, and Cypher acts on the distraction. Mal adds up, and players are just faltering. Nameless is also down. It's just due. His position's compromised. Mal was already taking his shots on him. Dutz will try to close the gap, but already on that closing gap instance is Rans, and he is coming in, running through Dew, and Dew doesn't have any opportunity to move in the other direction. Finds an opening with Mal, but how about the player up close? Abhay, he's always delivered blows after blows, and he will. Abhay will put all gamers global out of Solara and out of the chance for a champions slate.
RRQ denying AG Global the tournament win yet again. They did it previously in map number 6, and they do it again in map number 7. And with this, RRQ have also activated their champion rush condition. If they can stop Bigatron right now, then RRQ have a realistic shot at winning this tournament, but Bigatron take no prisoners. They are already beating Falcons down to a pulp, and Falcons have no choice but to escape. In typical bird-like fashion, they take to the skies and they actually land safely, but Bigatron and RRQ, both of them closing in on Falcons, they are gonna get trapped over here. The bullets being showered upon them from every direction leave them nothing to work with, not a single place to call safe, not a single piece of cover to dip your head behind. All you can do is pray that Bigatron and RRQ fight each other instead of focusing on Falcons.
Falcons, they also need points, but we thought while Falcons could be the ones getting themselves towards the championship condition, RRQ already have activated it. However, for them, they have to close this game and then make sure that they are going to be playing the next. That's going to be game number 8, and that is the only possibility for them to become the champions. So for them, as an obstacle right now, it is going to be Bigatron by Vitality, and they are right ahead of them. Bigatron by Vitality are hunting the Falcons. They will get the last player out, and that is an end for it. But inside the Echo Drain, Sibang finds Rans as well. And if Rans gets taken down and RRQ Kazu one after another start faltering, but I'm pretty sure Bigatron by Vitality will not take a chance, make their run inside Echo Drain, because they have the circle as well at the other end. So RRQ Kazu, for the time being at least, will have something that they'll be okay with to hold off. But Demon's Pride this side, we will not give them a chance. And RRQ Kazu have to win that battle. Sibang is helping in it. Madara gets taken down. Dutz with the nade. Doubles down. Takes 2 players off. Azwab is the last one trying to quickly revive his teammates up. But the Melters, Flash Freezes are chipping players off, and it's not helping them out. And with that, it's the last nade that acts. But she's still surviving. Somehow Azwab is trying to keep and match toe and toe. Top 77 is up. He tries to take the attention a little further away, and therefore Demon's Pride will survive for the time being.
Oh yeah, Demon's Pride do survive, but Bigotrons have very clear angles onto them. Even RRQ, for that matter, are stuck in the same boat, or rather the same drain as SHUL. And the only team that enjoys the high ground advantage right now, the only team which isn't trapped in a massive cluster, is Bigotron. This could be their map for the taking. Runs gets taken down by Joel, and Bigotron, instead of going towards this fight, they race straight into the zone. Of course, they lose Koja in the process, but he's very easily revivable unless Troll can somehow stop that revive from coming through. SHUL ignored RRQ, and they're turning their attention towards Bigotron instead. They're turning their attention towards the bigger fish, C-Bank! Oh my goodness! Triple elimination from C-Bank! He saves his team from certain elimination and keeps the hope alive! Bigotron are now the only team with all 4 members alive.
And on top of that, their champion rush condition is active. They're on top of all the teams doing the damage, and they're the only one, as you said, having all their 4 players. The Bang is already shooting with Privest with mechanical skills, but the zone shifting. And Bigotron by Vitality do not want to miss this chance. Jack right ahead, he's the last one standing. Koja tries to close the distance, and he spots Jack, damage being done. And RRQ Kazu, Jack takes them right to RRQ Kazu. Dutch puts him down. SATL Esports out of the run. Bigotron by Vitality are now ahead of the game. They have trapped every other team. This is the opportunity to become the champions. They cannot lose this. A swab gets taken down. RRQ Kazu down to the last 3. They're climbing the roof. Bigotron by Vitality. Sibang is already there.
Yeah, C-Bank, he's trying to keep tabs on RRQ. Meanwhile, now that the zone continues to shift, Bigotron take control of the other big building. They've taken the filtration plant for themselves, leaving RRQ in the circular drain building. There is a tiny chance that Demon's Pride might be able to get angles onto RRQ, but I don't think Demon's Pride want to expose themselves. Oh, never mind. The moment I say that, they try to make that risky push. They try to cross the treacherous gap that lies in between them and RRQ. And guess what? They scale up the staircases. They take the yellow pipes and get straight into the upper floor, where Bigotron have angles on them yet again. But they're trying to keep Demon's Pride at bay. They're trying to keep their own demons away. But they will have to work much harder, because all the area that Bigotron was trying to deny them is now of no use. And guess what? Top even manages to get the res onto his fallen teammate Jazzy. They're back to a 4-man squad.
Well, out in the sky, they'll pick him up. Joel will do the damage. Jazzy, I don't think he's going to be safely landing. Oh, he actually does. They have a chance to revive him back up. Demon's Pride might be 4 men strong at the end of this. Yes, they are. And on the other end, Bigotron by Vitality, whenever they've held the position for far too long inside a compound, Crips, it's always been their downfall. And it's happening once again inside this filtration plant. They need to get out. They need to take a hit. RRQ Kazu on the other end, they are waiting for this opportunity. They want the other team to strike a fight against Bigotron by Vitality, and then RRQ Kazu. We all know how lovely they convert. Right now, Demon's Pride, they are quickly rotating. They want a different position, but through the window, Koja as well as Joel both spot, and Joel is the one who's going to do the damage. A swab is down, but Bigotron by Vitality still no intentions closing that gap and going for a head-on close combat fight. And then Bang, he gets spotted. God. This is what RRQ Kazu do. They close the gap when nobody expects. Players are getting trouble and damage being done on Bigotron by Vitality.
And Bigotron thought they were safe on the first floor, but look at that window. I literally forgot that window exists, because I've never been shot from there. And RRQ take the roof. RRQ also have the center of the circle, so they can actually deny both Bigotron and Demon's Pride entry into the circle. Bigotron at least have some room to work with, right? But Demon's Pride are forced to leave that steel vent and get out into the open, where they will be very vulnerable against RRQ. Bigotron are trying to avoid leaving this building for as long as possible. They're trying to force RRQ on the other side. Dutch, he's keeping eye on the yellow pipe. Abai forced to go down from that roof, fighting Demon's Pride up close and personal. But Abai, he's getting into the pipe. He should be able to get the angles on the Deeks and Joel now. They forced the fight, but the walls have been shut. The pipe has been sealed with glue walls, and Bigotron continue holding on to this building.
FFMAI 2025, Bigotron by Vitality. They should have been the ones being crowned, but they missed the opportunity. But now they have the best. But the zone's closing in. This is the last circle. Everybody is trying to beat the clock, but it's not going to work out. The zone's going to start doing the damage, and it might just come down to survival of who will be able to take the damage going on. And it seems like RRQ Kazu, just because they are at the edge of the pipe, be an opening. But the match coming in, there is the opening.
Oh my God!
Start putting players down, but the Koja, he converts in and Sibang somehow survives. Demon's Pride, they have all their players standing. Sibang, what does he do? He's running out of kits. He's taking the damage of the zone and he will falter. Demon's Pride, they get the booyah. Bigatron by Vitality fail another opportunity.